fan of McDonald's hotcakes with whipped butter. But of course now, obviously I'm vegan and I also have type 1 diabetes. So I like to stick to a really healthy diet. But there's no reason why you can't enjoy a treat like that now and then, but you obviously don't have to get it at McDonald's, which obviously is very processed and very high in sugar and not very healthy. So you can actually make it at home yourself, which is actually quite easy to make. And obviously you can make it a lot healthier and you can cut out any dairy from it as well. So that's what I'm going to try to do today. We'll start with the hotcakes first, which are basically thick and fluffy pancakes. I've just put some ground flax, a tablespoon with 3 tablespoons of water. That's a substitute for egg. So just leave that there for a while just to thicken up. So I've also got almond milk and apple cider vinegar, and we're going to put those together to curdle it, to make like a buttermilk. Put in 3/4 of a cup of almond milk, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Just leave this for a couple of minutes to curdle it, and then you add the other things. Alright, so I'm just going to whisk that up first. Just now a teaspoon of vanilla. Just mix that in. Next, 2 tablespoons of coconut sugar. A lot more tasty than refined white sugar. Okay, 2 tablespoons of oil. You could use rice bran or olive oil or coconut oil that's been melted. So just mix that in. Right, so now we'll put in the flax egg that we've got there. A teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and got a cup of flour. You could use spelt flour or whole wheat flour. So I put about 1/2 of that in. Just mix that in. So just a bit of salt to bring out the flavour. About 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon. The rest of the flour, and just mix it till it's smooth. So there we have a smooth, fairly thick batter. So there's our batter. We'll just set that aside for a few minutes and start making whipped butter. So to make dairy-free whipped butter, I'm just going to use coconut oil, and with that I'm going to put some rice bran oil, or you could also use olive oil, but it's really best to get a neutral flavoured oil so it doesn't overpower the finished taste. So I just put 1/2 cup of coconut oil. It is hard coconut oil, but we're going to melt it anyway. 1/2 cup of your neutral flavoured oil, or this is rice bran, or you could use olive. So I'm just going to melt this together till it's all melted. melted, just put it into a bowl. I'm just going to put this in the freezer just to harden around the edge. So as you can see, just put a little oil in the pan so they don't stick, unless you've got a good non-stick pan, but this one needs oil. If you want to make sure they are even in size, you can just use a metal ring and fill it up, and then just take it out like that. And do another one. Oops. Oops. When it stops bubbling on the top, because that indicates it's ready to turn. Turn it down a little, just watch the heat. Turn it down if it gets too hot. And then just give it about a minute on the other side, should do. Okay, that's been in the freezer and it's starting to harden. So we're just going to put it into the mixer bowl and beat it really fast. We're just going to add a few more things for flavour. So a little bit of cinnamon. And just a little bit of salt. About a tablespoon of vanilla. And some maple syrup as well. So I'll start with 2 tablespoons and then see how it tastes. So just whip it again. Well, there we go. Just give it a taste. You can add a bit more syrup or vanilla if you think it needs it, but I think that one's fine. Okay, so here we have our delicious hotcakes with whipped butter. Now let me tell you, this tastes better than McDonald's, and it's a lot better for you too. And as you see, it was quite easy to make. So you just finish them off with the butter, however much you want. If you have diabetes, you shouldn't eat too much, but it's a nice treat once in a while. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you.